Welcome back, Metroid fans, to the channel. We have a big video to discuss regarding Metroid Prime 4 developer updates, which does appear that it is now legitimately looking like Metroid Prime 4 is very close and on the verge of finally being revealed, with multiple pieces of new information to back this up that we will cover in this video. But first, I have a special announcement, and if this is your first time coming to this channel and viewing this video, you picked the best time, because I am running a very special giveaway for a physical copy of Metroid Prime Remastered, and I will be posting a pinned comment with very simple directions to follow for you to qualify to win. But I will also tell you right now as well. So all you have to do to win a physical copy of Metroid Prime Remastered is to first of all be subscribed to this channel, Super Metal Dave 64. Also follow me on Twitter at SMetalDave64, so if you do win the game, we can exchange shipping information, and you will need to hit the like button on this Metroid Prime 4 video, hitting at least 500 likes, and then finally, of course, leave me a comment below in this video simply typing the 3 letters MPR, which stands for Metroid Prime Remastered. That's all you need to do to qualify to win a physical copy of Metroid Prime Remastered. And I want to say thank you for your support and good luck to you in your chance of winning this physical copy that I have of Metroid Prime Remastered. So now let's dive deep into the information. Now, with Metroid Prime Remastered revealed in February and released the same day, Nintendo caught everyone off guard with that release and surprised Metroid Prime fans in a very positive way. And of course, we played that game in its entirety twice live on this channel, which was a fantastic experience for me. I had a great time. But ever since that time back in February, fans have been wondering about Metroid Prime 2 and 3, if they will be getting remastered and released on the Switch as well before Metroid Prime 4 is released. And quite possibly it looks like that will happen in the not too distant future, most likely sometime after the release of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which would be extremely exciting for Metroid fans. And of course, we will be playing those games in their entirety on this channel when they are revealed and released. But besides that, no doubt Nintendo will eventually need to be showing some information about Metroid Prime 4 to coincide with hyping up Metroid Prime 2 and 3, because the entire reason for re-releasing Metroid Prime Remastered on the Switch is to prepare the fan base for the inevitable release of Metroid Prime 4. And yes, it is definitely coming. We have multiple pieces of information in this video to go over that prove that more than ever. In fact, very soon we could be seeing a reveal and launch time period to be announced for Metroid Prime 4. And there's multiple reasons why I'm saying that, mainly based on very real information from developers themselves, but also to back up a recent rumor that was discussed by Andres Restart from the information he got back in March about the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. He got some very interesting exclusive information along with some other YouTubers back then regarding that presentation that was announced shortly after that about the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and its gameplay presentation shown by Nintendo. He discussed in his video that the same source that revealed that information kind of let the cat out of the bag, that also Metroid Prime 4 was completed and basically ready to be announced and revealed very soon, and it was up to Nintendo at this point to actually be showing the game. Now, of course, this is a rumor shared by him. Whether or not you believe that or not is up to you. However, since the information came from a source that got other information correct, it makes more sense that it lines up now with Metroid Prime 4 being close to completion and ready to be revealed. And we have real information here to back this up now that some time has passed and I've been able to review the information for myself. And now multiple developers are actually coming forth into the public eye and talking about Metroid Prime 4 as a game that they have actually worked on in the past, which means they are done working on Metroid Prime 4, basically revealing that the work that they've been doing on Metroid Prime 4 is completed. Now granted, Retro Studios is still actively hiring developers into their studio during this time, and even though that they are still saying they are currently in development for Metroid Prime 4, it was revealed in the last year that they are in fact working on a different game that is not Metroid Prime 4. It was revealed in multiple different developer updates that they are hiring for a new game that they were in concept development art for, And obviously Metroid Prime 4, the concept art for that was done many years ago, back when they first started development on Metroid Prime 4 in most likely late 2018, and then confirmed in 2019 that they took over development for the previous developer that was working on Metroid Prime 4 up to that point until the game got restarted in development. And on top of that, now Retro Studios has just hired someone who is very familiar with the Call of Duty franchise to actually playtest Metroid Prime 4, and this is confirmed by the developer himself. He was just hired as a product tester in March 2023, coming from Activision, working on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, who is actually responsible as well for shipping Call of Duty Vanguard and Modern Warfare 2 as a play tester. And this developer's name is Edwin Atwell. And due to his expertise in first-person shooters, namely Call of Duty, this might give a hint as to what type of gameplay we can expect from Metroid Prime 4. Even though Nintendo announced that this would still be a first-person game, we know that Metroid Prime is a first-person adventure game first and foremost. However, shooting your beam and using all your weapons and abilities in Metroid Prime is a very, very huge part of the experience. And we recently talked about what type of gameplay we could actually be expecting from a Metroid Prime 4. And Titanfall 2 actually was part of our discussion in one of our live streams, that Retro Studios could be going for a futuristic type of Titanfall 2 or Crisis even type of gameplay, where those games use wall jumping along with exploring and using different suit abilities as well in a sci-fi universe. Now, the speed of movement in Metroid Prime games has actually been one of the slight criticisms that even I have had of the series up until this point, because granted, the last game's back in 2007, and gaming has evolved quite a bit with all kinds of different movements and abilities that these sci-fi first-person shooters have introduced since that time. So for Retro Studios to hire this very experienced product tester of AAA Call of Duty games, including the most recently released Modern Warfare 2, this bodes extremely well for Metroid Prime 4's gameplay. I'm getting the feeling that Metroid Prime 4 could be a pretty fast-paced game, and also of course a slower-paced game as well, depending on your playstyle. But it does look like this game is going to have the abilities that the modern games have for first-person shooters, which only makes this a much more exciting prospect for Nintendo and Metroid Prime 4. Now, what about these developers that have come forward and actually publicly disclosed that they have worked on Metroid Prime 4? Well, these two developers actually came forward publicly. There were some Twitter threads going around asking basically about 4 projects that you have worked on and that you're proud of. And these two developers came forward and revealed that both of them worked on Metroid Prime 4, and that is developer Sam Tung and Zachariah Rohn. Both of these developers revealed that they worked already on Metroid Prime 4 in the past as storyboard artists, and they're very proud of their work. But the interesting thing is that Zachariah Rohn actually revealed that he's under NDA and he's not able to actually reveal certain games that he's working on, but he did reveal that he worked on Metroid Prime 4. And the interesting thing is, to me at least, that this is the first time that I have noticed that 2 developers have simultaneously gone onto Twitter, a very public social media platform, and actually admitted that they have worked on Metroid Prime 4 already in the past, and their jobs are completed on it. Various other developers on LinkedIn and other job postings online have shared that they are currently working on Metroid Prime 4, but on Twitter this has been a rarity, because they're actually talking about something they already did in the past instead of actually something that they're working on currently. And this also bodes very well for the current progress of Metroid Prime 4. And we've talked about this for years, that Metroid Prime 4 has been in active development for quite a long time now. And along this time, many people have doubted the status of Metroid Prime 4 due to this, just because Retro Studios has hired some developers along the way, which of course they would. It makes a lot of sense that they would do that because the game is actually increasing production for the deadline that no doubt Nintendo has set for the game to be released, which looks like it could be very, very soon, according to all these things that are happening around the game right now. And if Retro Studios is already concepting a brand new game that is not Metroid Prime 4, which we know they are, it makes sense that Metroid Prime 4 could in fact be completed, as was rumored by that information from Andre's Restart back in March. And the developer info we were sharing in this video backs that up 100%. The big question mark is when Nintendo is going to announce Metroid Prime 4, and there's of course other rumors going around that the Nintendo Switch 2 will be revealed sometime in the summer. after the launch of Tears of the Kingdom, which also makes sense, logical sense, that they would do that due to the release schedule for the Nintendo Switch being pretty much barren besides Pikmin 4 for the rest of the year. It leaves a big gap for them to actually reveal and release a brand new console in time for the holidays. And it just so happens that, coincidence or not coincidence, Nintendo has announced a live event in Seattle, which would of course be something that you could attend to play games publicly, to preview them. And keep in mind, Nintendo hasn't done something like this on their own, mind you, since the launch of the Nintendo Switch, when they invited people to preview the device, when they invited content creators and certain people in the media to play it publicly at certain venues across the United States. Of course, they were smaller, but this appears to be a larger event that Nintendo's going to be promoting in September. And if you recall, maybe you don't recall, but back in September of 2012, Nintendo had a big live event, basically doing the final promotion for the Wii U, showing Call of Duty, showing a bunch of first-party games in September of 2012, and then pre-orders went live, and you could pre-order the Wii U for the launch in November of 2012. So they're doing kind of like the same thing here, except for the announcement is still pending if they're going to announce a new console before that happens. But the actual actions of Nintendo seem to be lining up to be something similar to that if you look closely at their history. So while we may not be getting Metroid Prime 4 released this year, I could see Nintendo revealing Metroid Prime 4 along with the release and shadow drop basically of Metroid Prime 2 and 3 to bring us up to speed to be ready for that launch of Metroid Prime 4 shortly thereafter. And if it's releasing on this next gen Nintendo Switch, then no doubt Nintendo wants to promote that heavily as being a next generation cutting edge piece of software that will only be running the best on the Nintendo Switch 2 when they do reveal it. It does look like, to me at least, that Nintendo's waiting for that. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. That's my gut feeling. And many of you out there also agree with me as well, including other content creators too. And the developers here actually support that theory as well. So things are really heating up here. I think we're going to see a lot more information come forth about this after the release of Tears of the Kingdom. I think Nintendo's going to be very quiet regarding their plans. All focus right now is on Tears of the Kingdom, which of course is understandable. But after that, Nintendo just doesn't have much left. So you can only think of a couple more things that they can do here. That's going to be Nintendo Switch 2 and Metroid Prime 4. So I'm really excited to see what happens next, guys. I hope you guys are as well. So I want to say thank you very much for watching this video, guys. And if you did enjoy it, please hit the like button for me. Let's get it to over 500 likes so you can qualify to win Metroid Prime Remastered physical copy. Make sure you leave a comment saying MPR if you do want this game for yourself. And I'll talk to you very soon in the next video. Have a great day.